uses it too. Some people want to get rid of it. They want to
Wait, does
stop.
that mean that means AI is wrong
Yeah.
because we set them up
Well, yeah, but we
and we
program in
changed
the
them to
mistakes.
the right time.
It's because humans are in power, Henry. AI hasn't taken over us yet. Tom, did you want to say something? Tom said, hello.
Yes,
How are you, Tom?
yes. So,
Thanks for a great
um,
response.
and I have a question.
Yes, Tom.
If AI is dominating us, wouldn't animals be much happier because they will not be affected by this? Since AI only uses fuel. But this will be bad. This will
Yeah.
be bad because as then fuel oil would run out and then the robots would die and then the earth would be a path of destruction.
I honestly don't know, Tom, because like if AI helps humans to solve problems and build things, maybe animals might
They
have more
they
danger.
they won't even last for a month. It's
Yeah.
because they have battery.
Henry,
They use battery.
Do you know the store called IKEA? You guys, IKEA makes furniture from wood that's grown in Sweden, and they have these machines that cut down the trees when they're only 7 years old. It's not AI, there's a human inside cutting them down, but that machine is so efficient and so effective. So, Tom, I just worry that if they put AI intelligence into that cutting machine and it's like robotic, it's controlled from a satellite. Some guy uses a joystick in, let's say, in a big city, and he just cuts down a whole forest. Then do you see how the animals would get really in danger? Unbelievable, Tom. Because you don't even have humans out there cutting anymore with machines. You have a robot machine that's just cutting trees like that. So it's pretty crazy. All right. You guys, let's see who's here. We have to say hello to everybody to make sure microphones are working. We have Henry and Vincent. Bella, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah. And let's see.
I have a question. Why do you always the final one to go here? There's a final one to arrive.
What? I don't understand. One more
You're
time.
always the final one to arrive.
Who's the final one?
You. You always arrive last.
Who? Me?
Yes.
No, I don't. I came here and there were only 5 students. I'm not the last person, Henry. This is called a false accusation. We don't do that in debate. Elvin, good to see you. How are you?
I'm much better yesterday.
Okay, good. Yeah, yesterday was a difficult day for you.
I still can't see his face.
He's a mysterious guy, Elvin. And you can see his eyebrows, everybody.
Oh, I see one of his eyes.
Yeah, I see Bella and I see Vincent and I see Henry and Elvin and Tom. The Doge, that's who we need to see, the Doge. We just have this mysterious voice all the time. Doge, how are you?
Why don't we just call him by his real name?
What is his real name?
How
are you, Doge? Hey, Doge, how are you good?
Yes, yeah, yes, sir.
What's his
Very
real
good.
name?
He's so quiet, Doge. What was your name before, Doge? You changed your name. What was that?
I don't remember.
You had a different name. You had
He
Doge.
doesn't know his name?
No, Henry, he had a different name before. What was it?
I said
Dibble. Yes.
Oh, that's right. It was like Ditto or Dibble. What was it?
Dippo.
Dippo.
Oh, yeah.
Dippo. Dippo. I love that name, but Doge is pretty cool too. Hey, Stella, how are you?
So, what is his real name?
Pretty okay, thank you.
Okay. Hey, Doge, what is your real name? Do you want to say the Vietnamese name?
I guess yes.
Okay, what is it?
Minh Khôi.
Cool name. I like that one too.
I only know English.
Oh. Which was yesterday's debate topic, Mr. Henry. Tom remembers that topic. I almost want to introduce that to you guys. Maybe we'll do it again. Stella, remember yesterday's debate?
I'm translating that right now.
That debate was, well, let's keep it secret because you guys might jump right into this crazy debate all of a sudden. Paul's real name is Minh Khôi. How are you, Minh Khôi?
Oh, no.
Why don't we use Google Translate?
I don't know. Paul, are you there? Your voice is soft. Can you make it a little stronger? Okay. How are you doing today, Paul?
Oh, I know his name in English.
What is it?
Single quote. It's a single quote
All right.
right here.
In English, you mean to say Vietnamese, Henry?
Uh,
You said in English his name is, and then you said the Vietnamese name. Okay. On, thank you for your good work on the debate response. Lucy also, I really liked Lucy's response. Edison, very good.
Hello, teacher.
Edison, we're going to discuss your debate response because it lets us jump into a really important topic, right? And so I'm really happy for your debate response. And I'll show you why that is in just a second. But I just want to get one thing here for you. One moment, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
And so the reason I mentioned that is I had this crazy looking guy here. I'll show you a picture of him. His name is John Stuart Mill. Now, I didn't learn about John Stuart Mill until college, and I think it's important for you guys to learn who John Stuart Mill is, because Edison's response in the debate is a John Stuart Mill response. And he looks kind of strange, but this was an incredibly intelligent guy. You can see by the shape of his head, they call him an egghead. They used to call these guys who are going bald and are super intelligent. That's how we got the nickname egghead, because their heads look like an egg. And so they said, these guys must be really intelligent. They all look alike.
But they're not fully bald.
I know, they're half bald, and so they call them an egghead, right? Kind of crazy, right? But this guy was really intelligent. He was from England, and he wrote about 150 years ago. England was going through an incredible change.
Is that Abraham Lincoln?
He was at the same time, maybe about, almost the same time, Doge. He's similar to Abraham Lincoln. He was a great forward-thinking man who wanted to think what direction society was going in, because both America and England were becoming heavy industry with factories. Millions of people were moving to these big cities, but they began to see things like more wars between countries and more violence in the British and American cities. So John Stuart Mill said, well, why do people act good? Why do most people act good? Sure, there are some troublemakers, but why do most people stay peaceful? And why do they do the right thing, the good thing? And so that's what Edison's debate response, he asked that.
What? That's all he asked?
Yeah, Edison got it in there. And you know what, to tell you the truth, Henry, it kind of goes against your argument. So you guys, Henry's argument was, if you find money, losers, keepers. And then Edison said,
it's finders.
Finders keep it. And then Edison says, no, I don't think so. So let's see what that argument was about.
Wait, who argued that?
Edison, and he used the John Stuart Mill argument, okay? So let's review rebuttals. We started these last week, but I really want you to know these two rebuttals. And I say why? Because using these two styles, you will be ready for any sort of debate, and the judges will say, oh, this is really good. Impress the judges. They think you're great because you use the correct language right here. And these two are, hey, Vincent, can you read this thing called acknowledgement and transition?
State the point made by my opponent. I must disagree with their conclusions. We respect the points. My opponent has raised some interesting points, but they are based on several misconceptions.
Misconceptions means mistakes, you guys, or errors. I use the ... Now, you guys, I've told you, like, don't use ... in your writing, but these are lecture notes, so I guess it's okay to hear. Remember, we want to use etc. in a debate, and in our writing, we want to say etc., or we want to say and so on, right? But I just used ... there, okay? So one more time, while I respect the points made by my opponent, that's the other team. Now, if you're in a debate and you have 3 members, we can check, while we respect the points made by our opponent, because you're a team, right? And then there are 3 other people on the other team. Then you change all of this to, we must disagree with their conclusions, okay? And then you would change my to our. Now listen, in the homework, I noticed some of you are still using you. Please do not use you in your writing and your debate. No, no, no. Okay, because it's confusing. Nobody knows who you're talking to. Somebody said, if I found your money on the sidewalk, would I give it to your teacher? And I say, my teacher? My teacher died 10 years ago, right? So you see, this is kind of strange, right? I don't mean to laugh. He was a wonderful teacher, but I think 3 of my favorite teachers died, you guys. They're 85 years old. And when I was a student 45 years ago, they were only 40 years old. They were excellent teachers, but I wouldn't say your teacher because, like I said, Brendan's teachers are all gone. So let's you say our teachers, right? It means everybody, our teachers, okay? Let's see, Mr. Henry, can you please read this for us?
Read? Okay.
Yes.
I like Edison's response. One of them asked, how would we feel if we lost money and nobody gave it back? This is an interesting athletical argument.
Yes.
Athletical argument.
Oh, ethical.
And a word I have no idea. Edison is thinking.
All right, Edison, can you say that word in Vietnamese? The Let Luan Dao Duc. Is Edison here? Edison, what are you doing? Are you playing computer games, Edison? What are you doing? Edison. Oh, Edison was doing something else. Hey, Edison, can you read this Vietnamese here, the ethical argument to help Henry? Oh, Edison ran away. Elvin, can you help us with the Vietnamese?
Sorry, teacher, because in my place it was too noisy. People are celebrating.
Oh, okay. Hey, Edison, ethical argument. What is this in Vietnamese? Lep Luan, what is this?
It's like when we say debate, that means that we debate about the things that we agree. But
Good.
with the ethical argument,
Yes.
we like make a going to a group of the people in
Yes.
the community. So and like they made up a bunch of rules and things that people should agree or not agree.
Nice, nice. Hey, Edison, what is this in Vietnamese? Lep Luan. Can you say this? Because Henry and I don't know how to say this.
It's lập luận đạo đức.
Yeah, is that a good translation for ethical argument?
I think that I have done an ethical argument in my class.
Yeah.
And the teacher agreed and everyone agreed.
Nice, because you know how to do that. All right, so Edison is making an utilitarian argument. Utilitarian, you guys, what that big word means, it comes from the word practical use. It means this is an argument that's good enough for most members of society, like 80%, 90% of the people in your society, Vietnam, Singapore, America, Japan, Canada. It means if most people follow this utilitarian argument, it's a good enough argument for most people. That's why Edison said in his contest, everybody agreed that his argument for ethics, for doing the right thing, was the best argument. That's the utilitarian argument. And this goes back about 200 years to England, because utilitarianism isn't just ethics, morality, debate, social studies, history. It's also economics, you guys, business, economics, creating the best economy for the most number of people. So the most famous guy was Utilitarian philosopher John Stuart Mill. Here's his argument. Now, this is a little bit difficult. Elvin, can you read this here? And it's okay to put the Vietnamese in here too, because it's a difficult argument. Okay, wait. What happened to our guy? Where is Elvin? Can you go ahead and read this? John Stuart Mill's.
John Stuart Mill's concept of the intersection in ethical theory comes from his work on
utilitarianism.
Utilitarians. Mill believed that our moral actions are guided by both external and internal section. More action hành động đạo đức. Edison's argument is number 2 below. The internal sanction. Edison advised to think how the other person feels. That is called empathy or sympathy. Empathy is significant.
Nice, Elvin. Thanks for helping us with that Vietnamese. So Edison actually made the number one argument today. He said, our class agreed that my ethical argument was good because most people agreed that this type of good behavior is good for our classroom, good for our school, and good for our Vietnamese society. So Edison used number one just now in class, but in Edison's debate response, he used the internal sanction. It's more significant with morals and debating and ethics. It refers to internal feelings that we have in our brains and in our bodies, and conscience, our thinking, that guide an individual's behavior. Mill argued that this internal moral force, this force inside of us to do the right thing, is a form of empathy or sympathy for others, resulting in a feeling of duty or guilt when contemplating actions or thinking about what we're going to do. And if maybe these actions will cause harm, right? This internal motivation encourages us to act in ways that promote overall happiness and well-being, aligning with the utilitarian principles. The utilitarian principles are people generally will do the right thing for themselves, but also for their families and their friends and their classmates. So this is a very important part in debating, you guys. You always have to think about these internal and internal sanctions. They're really important in doing a debate. And of course, it's very complicated stuff, but you'll understand. Now, this is interesting because I'll go to Tin now. Tin, I read your debate response. You said, look, it's going to be impossible for the police or your teacher to find somebody to claim a 500,000 dong note. So Tin said, just keep it because it's going to be impossible to return that. But then my response to Tin, if you read my response, I said, yeah, but if you're on a CCTV camera, a hidden camera, and they see you do that, you could be punished, Tin. So Tin, do you see this becomes the external sanction?
But how?
Oh, there are cameras everywhere in the schools, Henry.
Of course, but the thing is, if you gain anybody's trust and they trust you, that means they would trust you, so you wouldn't get in trouble.
Oh, but what if you break that trust, Henry, and they like two other students say, teacher, we just saw Henry pick up a 100 Canadian dollar bill outside the school and he put it in his pocket and he said, finders keepers. Uh-oh, I see punishment, Henry.
How?
How? Your two classmates just told that you picked the money up and put it in your pocket. Don't you think the teacher's going to say, Henry, I think we need to talk to the principal at lunchtime?
Wow.
No, that's impossible.
I will like if you don't go to the principal outside, you like no, I won't go. Maybe the teacher would like
might be
you
someone
up and then throw you to the
Yeah,
principal
listen to
room.
Tom. You would be in so much trouble. Very good, Tom.
You would get suspended, bro.
Yeah, you'd get suspension. Henry, the schools in Vietnam are very strict, Henry.
Yes.
Teacher,
So
if we
strict.
pick some money, teacher,
Yes,
if
Tom.
we pick the money and then put it in our pocket, then wouldn't that affect two things? Firstly, the principal would be very mad at us for stealing money.
Yeah.
Second is the owner of it might be really sad because we lost it.
Yes. So those are both
And
arguments, Tom.
Maybe he's planning on a trip.
Yeah. So Tom, external is punishment for bad behavior. And then number two is you feel really sorry for the guy who lost it. You said maybe he was planning to go on a trip and he needed that money.
Nobody would actually feel
No, but
sorry
the thing
for
is-
you.
The thing with doing that is that you can just say like this. I dropped my money while I was walking, so I came down to get it back. I can just say that. and
Henry,
you trust me.
but Henry, if you give complicated explanations like that, the teachers have been teaching for like 20 years, 30 years. They look for boys like you and they look for little signs in their face or their voice. And they say, Henry, are you telling me the truth?
Yes.
Where's your proof?
And teachers are really good, Henry, about finding the students who are lying. So
Yes.
my advice to you, don't ever do that, Henry. Teachers are really good at that. Do you guys want to hear a quick story about a boy who made a huge mistake, a bad boy at the high school I taught in Japan? Let me quickly tell you the story.
I found a 25 cent on the ground and
Oh,
I
well,
got
it's-
it for free.
All right, well, that's 25 cents. Okay, listen, you guys, I want to tell you how this punishment works because this is unbelievable. Do you guys know that there's the PSP? It was a game player from Nintendo like 10 years ago or 15 years ago. It was a little handheld thing that Nintendo made, or Sony. I know it was Nintendo. Nintendo little handheld computer game. And a boy at the high school paid extra money because Nintendo made 100 only of these little hand gaming computers, and you got a gold certificate that said you have bought only one of 100, right? And another boy stole it from him at the high school. He just stole it. This was a bad high school, you guys. So the principal called the boy who stole it and the boys who's owned the game, and the mother and father were there for each boy. Very serious. Stealing things in Japan is very, very bad. And the principal said, look, I don't want to call the police because this little machine is worth about $500. You have to decide whose game it is. And the principal said to the boy who stole it, if you just tell me you stole it, you will have a 3-day suspension and give it back to the boy. And the boy was really bad and his mother and father were really bad. They said, no, he didn't steal it. He's a good kid. He's not a good kid. He stole it. So they went to the other mother and father who are sitting in the same office with their boy. And they said, how can you, what proof do you have that that's your son? And they pulled out the golden certificate and it said Nintendo number 87. The mother said, open that machine, principal, and you'll see the number 87 on the inside of the machine. Principal opened up where the battery was, took out the battery, and there it was. It said number 87. The machine matched the golden certificate from Nintendo, and the principal had to tell the boy, leave school. You can't even come back ever. And that's really bad.
Wow,
good story.
So who got in trouble?
So
The
who got
guy
in
who
trouble? The
steal?
kid who stole it. Henry got in serious, serious trouble. So this is called the punishment from others. This is number one, the
Oh,
external sanction.
so it's
We
so
might
you
even
show
have to go to community services.
Yeah.
If we're a kid, we
Yeah.
have to go. But if we're a teenager, or maybe we might even have to go to prison.
Yeah, that's true, Tom. Like if
but
you're
the thing is,
uh-huh.
if even if you lie, you won't get that much. You show proof and that's enough.
Well, Henry, I
Right.
understand you said you found just a 25-cent Canadian quarter, you know. Vincent, I'm sorry I didn't call on you. Vincent, thank you for raising your hand. What a good kid. Go ahead, Vincent. Because nobody raises their hand anymore. Thank you, Vincent. Go ahead, say what you want to say.
Are you stealing when, wait, I need the microphone.
Okay, microphone's going. Okay, Vince, I can hear you. No
Oh.
problem, Vince.
How are you stealing when you found some money on the floor?
Well, this is the thing. Henry described it in his debate responses. I would just steal the money. But Henry, don't say that. I would change steal to I would keep the money, because if you use the word steal, it means that you know you are stealing, right? And so you kind of lose the debate. You have to be careful with the words that you use, Henry, right? Because if you say to the teacher, hey, I admit it, I stole the money. No. Henry, it's better to say, well, I found the money, right? So
And I
if you say,
found- and I keep
found.
it.
So found is a better word to use, Henry. Don't use steal, right? I think that's the point Vincent's trying to say. Is it really stealing? And so that's interesting, Vincent. Vincent, there's a famous movie where American culture meets the original Indian culture. And this Indian guy picks up a beautiful hat from a dead soldier and puts it on his head. And the American says, hey, you can't take that hat. That was my friend and he's dead. And he said, I found it. It's mine. It's just a
Mm.
difference in culture, right? So there are different cultures look at that differently, you guys. Dan, what do you think? I got to talk to Dan. I got to talk to Bella and Lucy and Tin. Dan, if you find the money and you put it in your pocket, is it stealing?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, definitely agree. All right.
But there's a thing I found.
I know. Finders, keepers, losers,
No,
losers,
no,
right?
no, there's one more.
What is it?
If buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing.
Oh, that's a modern one.
No,
Pirating.
it's because like you buy a Netflix subscription, you don't own the movie.
Yeah.
So that means
true.
pirating means steal. So that means you isn't stealing.
Henry, can you
Johnny-
write that response into chat, please?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
that's really modern stuff, you guys. We could actually talk about that. That's an interesting debate topic. What Henry is saying is if you get free software or free movies because you figured out somehow to break the code on Netflix, is that pirating? Is it stealing? This is a very modern argument, you guys. So, okay. You guys, here are some responses from a topic. We're talking about finding money and stuff like that. Let's go to Tom. Tom, this was from the other class. Do you remember this about the good luck money? And I don't
Yes.
know, Tom, can you read this? This is from our other class, but it's also money, so I'd like to introduce this for our class.
Now, before we study a few more of these formal rebuttals for debate, let's use some of these homework from another debate class. The topic was, should students save or spend their good luck money from the new year, or generally the pocket money that might offer a mother or father for daily needs in a student's life? There were many responses. Let's take one response and see how to offer a rebuttal. One student focused on the importance of budgeting money, combined with saving money. A little money can be used for food and a little bit saved. Students can learn a valuable lesson outside of their school work when they learn how to balance their savings. This is a good argument I agree with. But what if we have to offer a rebuttal in a debate? We would use the rebuttal in number one up above. Acknowledgement and transition. It might be like this. While we respect the points made by our opponents, we must disagree with their conclusions. By focusing too much on budgeting money at such an early age, students might lose focus on their schoolwork and become too obsessed or crazy about their memory situation. It would be better if mothers and fathers brought the things students need, and we only get presents for special days like birthdays. Students then should have little access to actual money so that they do not have to worry every day about money management.
All right, nice, Tom. So yeah, the person was saying that by saving your good luck money from Tet holiday, from grandmother, grandfather, it teaches you good money skills.
I think we already studied that topic.
Yeah, but do you see,
did?
the reason I put it here is because we need to use correct debate response language, you guys, and that would be here. So I'm going to put this in bold. So this is why I'm introducing it again, because Tom, I put this above the student's argument to show the correct way, right? So I said, just as a possible response, that if you are focusing too much on budgeting money as a primary student, you might become like too crazy or obsessed about money. And you're like, I got to save my money. I have to save my money. Whereas if your mother and father bought you snacks and bought you some small gifts and gave you some things each day, then you wouldn't worry about money. Now, it's not the greatest argument, you guys, but I just put it in there because
Really?
I show you, yeah, how to do it.
But the thing is, like for money, you cannot be too you have too much money and
Yeah.
you're obsessed with it. Why don't
Yeah.
you just spend it?
Good idea. Good idea.
Hey, Stella, what do you think? Can we do a breakout room? Do you trust these guys? Are they pretty good to give you good responses?
Give me the usual one I usually have, please.
Usual guys. Okay. So I'm trying to think who's
Only
as
at
usual.
a bakery, and I only want those who are the normal I usually got. I do not want new too
Vincent
scared.
and you seem to be in some sort of mischievous fight, so I'm going to keep Vincent and Min in here. Edison and Tin, you and Tom, you would work really well with Stella and Paul. You guys are great debate people. And then I'm going to work with Dan and Tin and Stella. I'm sorry, Elvin. You guys.
You work with me?
No, you're going to work by yourself. I made a mistake. I meant to say Bella instead of Stella. See, we have a Bella and a Stella. Oh my gosh, Stella, your little thing, your some bad language. Maybe change that, Stella. That's kind of
Lazy today, teacher.
Now I used that expression just 3 days ago, but I'm an adult, Stella, and I didn't use it to teach kids. I used it on Facebook. All
Wow.
right. Yeah, because I was angry about something. Lucy, I want you to join me and Tin and Elvin and Paul. You guys are good debaters, but you guys are quieter speakers. The other guys just keep
I'm
shouting.
not
It's
quiet.
okay, photo. So I can have 1 or 2 of it, but not
Alright.
like 1,000.
I'm not quiet.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna put Henry in that room with Stella, and Henry, he's gonna give it to
No,
you.
no. Henry, two overload. To somebody else, please.
Henry,
I cannot take it. I will cry.
Oh no, Henry. Okay, stay in my room. All right.
Thank you.
So
I didn't want
Elvin and Bella and Dan and Doge and Edison.
Doge doesn't speak, teacher. He's really
I
quiet.
know Doge has good ideas. He should speak more. Mr. Doge, please speak more. You have some interesting things to say. Okay.
Normally he just quiet like
Yeah.
a person in school.
All right, here we go. And then I'll just pull people out. If you end up in Stella's room, I'll quickly pull you out to the main room where we are doing our YouTube live feed. And
YouTube live feed.
yeah, it's for kids who can't join the debate, but they just want to watch us. So that's why we have to have good behavior, Henry, and try our best to give polite responses.
I think everybody who's watching knows the saying finders keepers.
No, that's Canadian. That's a really good question. Vincent, in Singapore, do you use that finders, keepers, losers, weepers?
Nah.
Yeah, losers, weepers, you guys. It means if you lost the money, too bad, you just cry. That's what
Too
weeping.
bad, too bad, too sad.
Oh yeah, too bad, too sad. Henry, this is very Canadian and American kid talk. Now remember, we're talking to Vincent is in Singapore and Tom is in Vietnam. These are still very traditional Asian societies where you have to care about other people and
I
do
was
the right
born
thing.
in Vietnam.
I know, but sometimes American kids and Canadian kids are like, I found the money. I'm not going to give it back. Right? And in the other cultures, they might say, hey, that's really bad. Right? That's what Stella was trying to say. Right? And Tom, you were trying to
Bad.
speak too. I appreciate that.
Tom said it's bad.
So a big part of our class is Tom and Edison and Vincent and Lucy. We're trying to help Henry understand his Vietnamese heritage. Even though he's Canadian, we have to teach him the.
No, I'm supposed to be Vietnamese, but I left Vietnam so early that I don't remember a single thing.
Yeah, so this was yesterday. Tom, you remember we were talking about this topic yesterday? If you study English too much, you start to change your feelings. Do you remember that, Tom?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, it's like for someone like Henry, he was left Vietnam when he was 1 year old. So he said, I'm Canadian, right? So
No,
that's
only 4. I left when I was 4. I didn't even know.
Teacher, I was actually born in the mountains, but then I changed. But then I went
You
to a
live in
city.
the mountains?
his family lived
Yeah, I
in the
once
mountains.
lived in the
He once lived there. Hey, Tom, do you think living in
Yeah.
the mountains like that, it helps shape your character? It makes you a little
No.
different than the city.
It's
people in Hanoi?
just freezing cold.
No, living in the mountains in Vietnam, it doesn't even cold.
Is it
Okay.
more rainy,
In
Tom?
Vietnam, it makes
I have
sense.
a great day. I have some great time. My first 3 years were very great until the 4th year. I had to go to the city.
Okay, now when you went to the city when you were 4 years old or 4th grade, Tom,
I was just 4 years old.
did the Hanoi city kids seem different to you? Do you remember?
Yeah. I have darker skin than them. And
Oh,
also,
Darker.
And when I was 1 year old, I already knew. When I was more than 1 year old, I already knew how to speak English.
Oh yeah, because you're like an intelligent guy, Tom. So I could see it.
I
Um,
learned English at
Did you-
5.
did you
I
tell
knew
the
how
other,
to speak English when I
Did
was just
you,
1 year old.
did you tell the other kids things about the mountain village you lived in?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I had a school
Long
there.
time ago in the mountain, there
Hey,
was a kid
Tom.
named Tom who stayed in the mountains for a few weeks.
All right, Henry, you
And
have to write a
continue.
creative story. 2 pages, Henry, that's your homework. I want 2 pages of a creative story about the boy, the Tom, who lived in the mountains. And I want to see it by next Sunday. All right? Are you ready for a challenge like that?
Okay, sure, whatever.
Hey, Tom, just a quick question. In the mountains, could you see the stars, like beautiful stars at night?
No. I'm
'Cause that's-
guessing it's a no.
No,
That's-
let's ask him. I'm
It's
guessing.
Actually, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
because that's good for your
I literally saw
imagination.
everything under
Yeah.
the moonlight.
All right. Hey, let's ask
Also,
Vincent.
every
Go.
time I had every time in the weekend, I would always fly kites with my friends,
Oh, yeah,
but
that
now
sounds-
I don't seem to remember them.
Oh my
You
God.
don't even know a single one, right?
Well, he
Or
was
did you
4 years
start
old when he moved.
No, it's just like 7. I'm
Henry,
3
you
years
eating
old.
good?
I'm just 3 years old, so I have a bad memory that time.
Yeah, so
I don't have a
I-
good one.
I
remembering
want
all
a
that stuff.
topic.
Go.
Why don't I just do a topic about Tom's about Tom, 10-year-old Tom who lives in Hanoi. A story. of
Okay,
him.
I think if it's Tom in Hanoi, that's 3 pages for Henry for
Hey.
homework for next week because the mountains
I
are
can make
easy.
I
That's
can
2
make it in
pages.
one sentence. Once there was
Hanoi,
a boy named
that's like 3 pages, Henry. Are you ready for the challenge?
No, the topic I want is a topic about him, and I can finish in one sentence.
Oh,
Right
it better be
here.
nice. It better be nice.
Right
Let's hear
here.
it. Tom, a very intelligent guy that I know in my debate class, became an even better person because he lived in the mountains. He was close to nature. He learned lessons that I didn't learn in school. What do you think? All right, let's go to Vincent Lowe. Vincent, how's it going? Give us your impressions. We're supposed to be talking about money. Do you think it's okay for primary students to get worried about money?
So, to be more responsible.
In Singapore, do your mom and dad give you some pocket money for each week to buy snacks and stuff? Yes. Now, do you look at the money and say, I have to spend this in a good way so I can stretch the money till next Friday? Yeah, that's called budgeting your money. Now, Vincent, do you become stressed about it or is it just easygoing? You don't worry too much about it? The reason I asked that is my brother gave me some money and I was really worried that I would spend it foolishly and then my brother would make fun of me, Vincent. So by giving the money, he created more problems. If he just didn't give me the money, I wouldn't worry about it. But he gives me like $2 US and I worried I better spend this on good stuff like pencils for school. If I buy chocolate, my brother will tell my mother and I'll be in big trouble. So do you see this $2 all of a sudden became crazy stuff. Hey Stella, how was it?
I did it.
Okay, teacher,
I finished.
teacher,
Yes?
teacher. I wait. I need to mute everybody. I do not want anybody to chime in. Okay, so like in my room, like for a second, I forgot the topic, and then I asked like the question yesterday, like
Yeah.
what would you do like when there is a $1,000 bill on the pathwalk, and
Yeah.
wow, like only one person said that they will give it to the police, and the rest said like they would buy food, they would put it in the pocket, they would keep it for themselves. And for me, let me explain.
Yes,
So
Stella.
if I saw a 1,000 bill, okay,
Yes.
then if like I take it and then I give it to the owner, maybe it's a stupid move because like maybe that's not the real owner. Well, I would like I don't take it. It's very sad for the money
Yeah.
and maybe so I added up. Henry.
All right. Stella, very interesting. I'll tell you why later. You always send me your teaching notes. I'll send you a private message later, Stella. Very interesting. Thank you for telling me that story. It's really interesting. Vincent Lowe said, yay. Hey, listen, we have to talk to Lucy because you guys are talking so much. I can't talk to our Lucy and also An and also Tin and some others. So Lucy, what is your impression of the things we've been talking about? Our main lesson today, I'll put it in chat, is honesty. Being honest, you guys. I made a mistake in spelling being honest or honesty. Okay. So Lucy, do you think it's best to be honest?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you hear about finding money and giving it to the teacher or the police. So Lucy, did you ever find money?
No, I
Okay.
can't.
All right. Because I found money. It was big money. And 3 times I gave it to the police because I use Edison's argument. How would I feel if I lost money and nobody gave it back? So for example, let me show you something from my wallet. In Japan and in Taiwan, foreigners have to have this card called the alien card, and it shows that you are not a Japanese citizen. I'll quickly show it to you. That's my card. And I lost this card and my health insurance card, and I'm just going to quickly do that because those are personal documents. And I was really worried. I had to go to the police, and I went to the police, Lucy, and the police already had my missing 2 things at the police station. A really good person turned them into the police right away, so I could get back 2 very important cards. And I was really happy because the same thing happened when I lived in Taiwan. I lost this health card, and this was here. I won't show it to you, but there's the Taiwanese health card with my picture from 2 years ago. I also lost that. It was terrible, you guys. So it was really embarrassing. So it's so great when somebody gives back the thing that you lost. By the way, do you guys know Crayon Shin-chan? Does everybody know Crayon Shin-chan? So this is Crayon Shin-chan's father named Hiroshi. And this was my pass card to use on the Taiwanese trains, right? So do you know it? Hey, Stella, should we do what you just told me with that message? I have an idea. All right, Stella.
I have an idea to block the chat and block the mic. Nobody can say anything now.
All right, go ahead. That's fine. Stella, you can do that.
I am so happy.
Because you have control of that. You're a co-host, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you guys see? I hate to keep going back to this difficult concept, but it's important to show you guys. So Stella didn't like the behavior she was seeing in chat. So what did Stella?
Dang, I was being a teacher like for 2 years, and then when I see somebody said I am something, I would get like an anger issues, and then I would like do every single thing to like block everything they can do.
So what she's doing, Stella, is using the external sanction. It means she's correcting you with fear of punishment from others. She's punishing you by not allowing you access to the chat. Now, if you guys had internal sanction, you would say, well, I shouldn't say weird stuff in the chat because it makes the other students angry and the teacher doesn't like it. So most of you are really good. You don't use chat for strange stuff. This class, your chat behavior is pretty good. In a Sunday night writing class last spring, the kids used to get in really bad fights in chat. So Dr. Duke said, please just turn off the chat, no more chat. So that's why I began using these teacher notes more and more, you guys. But you guys are good, so don't worry about stuff like that, okay? All right.
Yes, they should be worried about that.
So yeah, Stella's like, you could get punished from me, so I want your behavior to be better. All right.
I want their own good, not like I am doing anything evil, but they are too annoying and I need to do it.
All right, Stella. Let's go to An. An, are you there? I want to talk to An.
Who's on?
An is a really great student because I
Who's
always
on? Whose name is that?
I don't know. Her Vietnamese name is An.
Good An. Good An. I finally understand.
Okay, An, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. My mic block.
Hey, so on, what do you think about this money thing, finding it, or just saving money? The two lessons are about money, money, money.
Uh,
On, I have your debate response. Can I share it? Because I remember looking at that and thinking this is pretty good, right? So let me do On's, I'll share it with everybody. On's debate response. On, which one was it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay, I got it. You guys, are you guys ready for a really good debate response? And so, On, I'm sorry I didn't call on you earlier, but you have good stuff to say. Here we go. On. All right. Okay, you guys, this is On. On, would you like to read it? Is your voice okay?
yes, I'm okay.
Okay, some people have, a cold. That's why I asked. All right, On, go ahead.
Our team firmly believes that if you find a banknote that has high value, you should not give it to your teacher or the police or keep it yourself. Firstly, when you give that banknote that is worth 500,000 dong or $100 to your teacher, they might not find or ask the one who lose their money and retain it for themselves, and they might not return it if they have already used that money. If you give it to the police, they might not give it to the one who lost the money, like the situation when we give it to the teacher above. They might not return it back because they might not know who lost the money. Secondly, that banknote could be a trick on the way of the kidnappers. Kidnappers think that when children see a high value banknote falling on the street, they will curiously pick it up and examine it. When the children are caught off guard, the kidnappers can rush out at any time to kidnap the child away. To conclude, we should not pick that note up and keep it ourselves because it can be a trick of the kidnappers to kidnap us, but also we should not give it to the teachers or polices because they might not return that banknote back to the one who lose their money.
Yeah, so this is a real dilemma or problem that you're describing, right? Like you see that money, it might be a bad person who put it there so they can kidnap or steal a child. I've never heard that response before, so it's kind of interesting. Hey, Edison, what do you think of that response by On, that like the money was left there as a trap by bad people? Oh, Edison, your microphone. Edison's microphone. Hey, Edison, you have to do your microphone. It's kind of funny. Oh, okay. It's too noisy outside, is what Edison is saying. Hey, Paul.
Teacher, because you aren't allowed. So I think that I think that I have a part that I agree that if you pick it up and kidnappers will run out, but I am not agree with the I when you are saying, I think of a story like a kidnapper pick up that money and a kidnapper go straight and two kidnappers kidnap each other.
That's kind of interesting, Edison. All right. Hey, let me ask that question. Paul, are kidnappers a problem in Vietnam? I've never heard that before. Is Paul there? Hey, Paul, what happened to Paul? He's talking, he's having some kind of chat. Hey, Paul. Paul, is kidnapping a problem in Vietnam?
Like I think there's I didn't hear about any kidnappers, but I think there are some kidnappers in Vietnam.
Because the government is so strict there that if you were
Yeah.
like steal a child, you would be in big trouble, right?
Yes, there's a lot. I just like I just hear from my parents that they said that there's not a lot of there's a lot of kidnappers that around you, so you must hold my hand when walking down the street.
Oh, okay. So it's just something that mothers and fathers tell kids, don't run away from me, right? Stay close to me and hold my hand.
And also, I see that there are a lot of bullies driving their motorbike down the street
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
closely.
Yeah. Paul, you say the young guys are the bullies. In Taipei, I used to see these old guys who were like 60 years old. They were really fat and they would be on their motorbikes. They were terrible. They would go down the sidewalks of really nice department stores just so they could get out of traffic and go like 200 meters. And it
Peter.
was so dangerous. Yeah, Stella.
I see some people getting anger issues because I'm not letting them turning on mic. Should I let them turn on mic again?
Oh yeah, you can turn on mics. Just stop the chat. That's fine because this.
But I'm just scared now. Like, what if I give on the chat and they're like, very noisy? Like people try to like be very crowded with every single type of voice.
Just
And
turn
what
on
if they
turn on
fight?
the mics. Turn on the mics. Turn off the chat, but turn on the mics. That's fine, Stella.
Okay, let's see what happened. If it turn on again, I need to cry.
Because this class, you guys are learning to get along with each other in your debate style. So, like, if someone's talking a lot, then they stop and they let someone else speak. You guys have pretty good manners in this class, so I'm pretty happy with it.
No, it's not good manners. It's so scary.
Hey, Tin, what do you think? We have to talk to Tin as our secondary student. Tin, you've seen more things in your life because you're older. The idea of keeping the money or giving it back, you had an interesting argument, Tin. You said, keep it, but then I said, be careful if you keep it. They might catch you on a CCTV camera or someone might see you do it. So, Tin, have you ever found money?
Have I ever what?
Found like a little bit of money on the
Oh,
ground?
I mean, 1,000 dong is money.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Well,
Is one,
I just found 1,000 dong like randomly on my walk home.
yeah. Were you happy? Like, hey, 1,000 dong.
I mean, 1,000 dong can get me like some candies.
Only one candy, like $1,000 is very small.
I know. So that's really good. You guys, okay, so in a debate, let me put this here. This is really important. Thanks for telling us that, Tin, because that brings up a really good point. I'm going to go back to our rebuttals to use writing on a big screen, you guys, because your point is excellent, Tin.
Teacher,
Yes.
on my
Is that Vincent?
No, that's Paul.
Tom? Who?
Paul.
Paul. Hey, Paul, is that you?
yes,
Okay, go ahead.
like in my summer school, like when like it was the like in the lunchtime, a lot of students bring money to the school canteens. Then
Teacher Brendan,
Yes.
someone just accidentally corrupted my microphone.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. You're okay, Tom. We can hear you.
Now he's even disabled my chat.
All right. Let's go to Paul. Hey, Paul, are you there?
like in my summer school, like in the lunchtime, there's a lot of students bring monies. Then I found that there's almost 200,000 down on the school hall.
And what do you think? That's good money or?
200 down.
Okay.
But then I don't know why there's a stupid kid that only grade 2, they pick up the money, then drain it away.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Tin, do you see what I'm writing here? Do you remember in a debate, you always have to define your debate terms. So Tin just did something really kind of cool, you guys. He said, well, what do we mean when we say money? He said, if we're talking only 1,000 dong, that's nothing. I can just buy a piece of candy, right? And so this really changes our debate. It's interesting because, Tin, I didn't think about this. I really like that you put this in here. Are you still there, Tin?
Yes.
Yeah, nice, 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 nice. Okay, so you said 1,000 dong is a piece of candy. You could write this to you right now. Let us change the terms of the debate. To finding, spelling, much larger amounts of money. Tim, what's the really big banknote? Is it 500,000 dong or more?
It's like, yeah, 500,000 dong.
Okay, 500,000 is the biggest one?
Yes.
Okay. In this case, we will propose or give the idea that someone finds 10 500,000 dong notes. Okay, so 10 notes would equal 5 million dong.
So you will have everything you like, almost,
Yeah,
for the
a lot.
children like us.
Okay. Vincent, what would you like to say?
How much will 500,000 dong worth in Singapore currency?
Yeah, good question. Let's take a look, Vincent, because you need to know that. I'm curious to know that in American dollars too, because I just threw the number there, you guys, right? So I'm going to go here, and then I always check my Vietnamese dong to the dollar. So let's say you found 5 million. So we have the 500,000. We go ...
5 million is like almost $200.
Yeah, almost $200. You know, that would be a lot. If an American kid found $200 in Singapore dollars, that would be
I think it will be more.
262. So Vincent, if you saw some kid find an envelope, let's say some housewife or a college student puts 262 dollars in an envelope to go to the bank to pay something, you know, like electric for their apartment, and then you see that on the ground. If you and your friend saw that, Vincent, would you say, hey, that's big money? Yeah, that is big money. Okay, so yeah, just quickly, you guys, the money that I found in Japan, I once found 400 Singapore dollars. I found about 7 million dong. It was just in a beautiful wallet on the side of the road. And I quickly gave that back to the police because, remember, I felt very sorry for the woman who lost it. She was worrying so much because she had all of her special cards, her health cards and stuff, credit cards in that wallet. So I felt very sorry for her. Okay.
What?
Why? Because, Henry, if you had a wallet and you had about 500 Canadian dollars, it was like super great Christmas money, and you lost it, how would you feel?
Very sad.
Very sad, right?
Imagine that was all the money you had, and then like, you know, some people don't have that much money, so then they accidentally drop their wallet. It would be very sad if you lost the only money that you had.
Yes,
Left.
and
Only money that you have. What can you use that money for?
for food, for electric, for your apartment, Henry, for water, for
Yeah.
How do you get that money?
you know, some people
By working.
by working, and they get cash. Some people work for cash, by the way, you guys.
Yes, Henry, you must know.
Yeah, a lot of poor people work for cash in America, and they're paid in cash. And if they lost that cash, it would be pretty bad, you guys. They wouldn't have food for a while. They might turn off the electric in their apartments. It could become a bad situation. So this is how we begin to feel sorry for other people. All right, so what interests you? We did spending your good luck money in a good way or giving back money. So we're talking a lot about money. Do you guys like these money topics? Tim, what do you think about this money?
Yes,
money,
of course.
Money topics are
Love it.
easy.
I love it.
You love it. All right, you guys.
Money topics
So
are easy.
So money topics are easy, but they do get you guys excited. Let's see, Stella, what do you think is another good money? We have finding money, giving it back, spending the Tet holiday.
Ignore it.
Huh?
Ignore it, teacher.
What was it?
Ignore it.
Ignore what? The money topic?
Yeah, I don't like it.
You don't like it.
I mean, like the money people keep saying, they were like, some of them is really common. I mean, like this topic's really common, and like almost there are two options that you give. Like most children would say, that's what they would take it, or two they would say they would give it to someone, which is really boring for me.
Oh.
Stupid
We took
laugh.
the class. Let's
Stop
see
it, Vincent.
which one. Let's see which one get the more. Either with Stella idea or the I don't know, teacher idea. So let's do a poll with the whole class.
Okay.
Vote.
Use your raise hand. Use your raise hand on Zoom. Who likes these money topics? I'm just laughing.
Maybe not.
Paul likes it. Vincent likes it.
Maybe.
Tin likes it. Do you like talking about
I have
money?
an option.
All right. Dan likes it. Okay. Edison likes it. All right. You guys are funny. I like you guys because you give your opinions right away. In Japan, the students say, I don't know. Tom, do you like these topics about money, money, money? Lucy, Elvin, An, let's hear from you guys. Lucy, do you like the money? Talking about money?
Money.
Of course.
Money.
But see, the only thing that I'm worried about is we talked about giving money back or saving.
Giving money?
If you find money, Henry.
And you give it back? Nope.
Oh, Stella, are you ready?
What?
Stella, how about giving money to poor people?
Normal.
No.
Children said that they will give it to the poor people, but normally they won't give it to the poor people. They will like keep a teacher. So I do not trust this class at all.
No, but what about if you have like a kind heart? Then after that, you will actually give it to the poor people. You don't know. You
think
don't
every
know.
single person in this world has a kind heart?
No, but they just haven't unlocked it. You know what I'm saying?
Or are we debating yet? Wow.
Go ahead. I don't mind.
I can never give it any money to the poor because I don't even
Oh
have
my
like a single
God.
Vietnam dong in my pocket.
How could
Money.
you?
Money's not related.
Now, in Vietnam, do super poor people ask you for money on the street, you guys?
No, like they go around and give you like so.
There are a lot.
Like lottery, like they go around and give you lottery and ask us to buy, but most of the people.
Vincent, in Singapore, do people ever ask for money on the street?
No,
Yes?
because Singapore like make it a law like you cannot beg. So like the poor people had no choice just to like go around like selling tissues or something.
That's what Stella said.
Or making homemade stuff and then walking around in crowded place trying to sell them for like a higher price or something.
Yeah, in America, they do that too, try to sell a t-shirt. But then you have these like really poor people, or they have drinking or drug problems. They ask you for money directly in the streets. It's pretty bad. In Japan,
Singapore, they ban drugs. It's totally banned. Even vape is banned.
Yeah, very bad. So what do you guys think? Do you like that topic? If you have a little extra money, should you give a little to a poor person?
No, to voting teacher.
Henry says,
I would like to invest that money.
invest that money. Okay. Invest it. Or give some away. Now, this is interesting, Vincent, because when I was teaching in Saudi Arabia 3 years ago, you have to give money to poor people because of the Islam religion. You must give some of your extra money to poor people. Did you know this?
No.
And so the students would argue how much you should give. And if your family has no money,
Vietnamese people, some children like me, have not like don't even have a single dollar in the pocket, so we give like zero extra money.
yeah. All right. Yeah. So I don't know, Stella. It's because one of my students, his name was Noah. He said, "My family is very poor. Our father left the family and went back to Africa. So there are 6 children, and my mother still gives cooking."
That's a little extreme, don't you think?
What was it?
That's a little extreme, don't you think?
Yeah, very extreme. So in Saudi Arabia, his mother still gives cooking oil to poor people. And the other students in class said, "Cooking oil? That's not really helping poor people." And he would shout back at them like, "Yes, it is. People need cooking oil, right?" But that's a complicated situation, you guys. All right. So do you think this is good for your debate topic?
Nuh-uh.
Vincent said no.
Yes, no, it's not a good topic. So boring.
What is it?
Teacher, why do you like to talk about money?
Well, I asked the students and they say they love it, Stella.
And I don't.
Well, you're only one
I
person.
scared money. What I remember my money. I remember about my budget. I remember about my pays to my mother and father. I
That's
remember
Paul.
about how much I had, which is so bad.
Easy. Paul, let's talk to you. Paul, what do you say?
I like the money topics.
Okay, you like the money topics. But Paul, do you think this question is good? If you have a little extra money, should you help poor people?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, because you guys, this is actually one of the IELTS essay questions. Should we help poor people with money? It's on the British Council IELTS, and so they actually ask you that question. So that's why I thought it might be a good question for you guys. So we could change it from money. You guys, let's change it, okay? Let's ask Tin. Hey, Tin, what do you think of that question? I want to ask Tin's opinion. Paul, whoever turns it.
Uh,
If you
I think like if there's too much extra things in my house,
Yeah.
I would give it to poor people because like I always keep keep a little bit extra things so if something broke, I could use it.
Okay.
I could use the other things.
Okay. Now I say broken things, Paul. Tin, that's a really good comment because sometimes in Japan, even if you have something that's broken, the people who are kind of poor, they have these small factories and they break apart electric things like rice cookers, and they can take the pieces out and sell it. They can sell the small pieces of electric things, especially for computers too. They can use the computer circuits inside for rare metals. So they can make some money even with broken things, you guys. All right, listen, we're 6 minutes over in our debate and it's Sunday afternoon in Japan. You guys probably have some stuff to do. Vincent, are you having an argument with somebody? What's going on with Vincent? I'm curious to see.
See, like I try to like have a joke with him,
Yeah.
and he cannot admit it because like I turned off unmute himself, and now like I will like turn on unmute himself, and then like he turned on. After that, he looks somewhere, and then I turn off. After that, like I put on again. He turned on his mic, look somewhere, and I turned off again. And I really like this joke.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So listen, you guys worked hard. I'm happy to see you're happy. I'm going to change the debate topic to this. It's kind of connected to money and stuff. So this is a compromise debate. If you have old things in your house, should you give them to poor people? They do this in Japan. You just put out old things and give it to poor people. Okay. That's the best I can think of. Any questions? All right, let's finish for today, you guys. Always interesting to talk to you. You guys did a great debate. You talked about so many things today. So thank you so much. All right.
The last 2 seconds, I will let everybody unmute themselves finally.
All right. Go ahead, turn on your mics.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, you guys.
Bye.
Michael and Henry.
Bye, teacher.
Bye,
Teacher, bye.
Bye, Lucy.
Bye.
Take care, Paul. Thank you very much. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Dan. See you guys. See you, Tin. Thanks, Tom, Dan, and Vincent. And hey, Edison, see you next week. Edison's doing that.
Shush.
Bye-bye, Tom and Edison. Tom and Edison.